So today I'm going to be installing a Autometer fuel pressure gauge. I could have got a glow shift set for about the same price, but I already had Autometer gauges in my truck, so I went with that way. I'm going to be putting my boost gauge in here. Right now it's up here. I want to get it down near my speedometer and stuff so I can see it while I'm driving. I also got a glow shift. This is the only thing that's glow shift. The banjo that's supposed to go with the Autometer. So we'll see how that goes together. But yeah, we'll get it started. So this is my setup right now. As you can see, I got my boost gauge up here. I got my pyrometer down there. So I want to see if I can get my boost down here, which I should have enough room from the looks of it when I pull it out to pull it over to here. Just work it down the dash, under the dash, and bring it up. But let's see what we can do. So I want to start with removing my boost gauge first, because I want to be able to see that and then worry about the fuel pressure gauge. So let's see what I can do with this. I don't know what size that is. I got to get the tool for that. I was able to get the boost gauge off, as you can see here. The back part of it was a 13 to get, I'll show you. To get the actual boost fitting off, and then there's just an LED to get those off, so I'll be able to run those down. This is probably where I'm going to put my fuel gauge. So I want to see if I can tape whatever wires I got to tuck down into there into one of these, so I don't have to try and like fight trying to get the wire back up. So I want to open this up, see what I have in here, and make sure that my banjo will work that I bought from Glow Shift on the sensor that's right there. Let's see what this is the sensor to give you. That's supposed to go up in the engine bay. Let's see if I can get this open. Make sure that this threads in before I go any further, which it looks like it will. Yeah. So I guess you just tighten that down as tight as you can. This goes into where the, like for me, it's a P pump AFC housing. There's a bolt in there that you pull out, and this goes into that. They give you two new copper washers to stick in between, and then I'll see what this should just be. Gotta look at what wiring this thing actually needs. Looks like I have to do a little bit of wiring, but hopefully there's instructions on it. The other reason why I went this way is they look exactly the same. So it's the same gauge. That's why I didn't want to go with the glow shift. I already had two. I mean, this was $200 plus whatever else. I think it came out to like $290. So I could have bought other stuff, but these seem like they're working good, and I heard Autometer is a pretty good gauge. As I was saying before, I want to see if I could tape this wiring, because this goes on the back of the fuel gauge right here. I figure if I tape it here, and if I could pull it down, then I'll at least have this run, so that my fuel gauge should go back up into there and I can plug everything in and then worry about the wiring after. So what I'm thinking about doing is this. I gotta pull this down. I know this one I can get. I'm gonna take this end. That's the connector, some sort of connector, which I'm sure they tell me in the instructions. Maybe I could, this needs to plug into that. Yeah, this needs to plug into this. So I gotta run that into the engine bay, and I'm assuming I could get power from something. Yeah, I'm about to look at the instructions, I don't know. But these look like my power for the light. And then this is the power for the sensor to send to the actual gauge. So I'm gonna take this end, the sensor end, tape it to this, so that way it pulls down with it. I don't have to sit there and push all the wires up, and it'd just be a pain. Maybe this will make it easier, I don't know. Try it. Dad's always done stuff this way. So we'll see if it works. So I got it taped up. I'm gonna see if I can pull it down. I want to, like I said, get my boost gauge set up first and then worry about all this wiring later. But yeah, we'll see how this goes. I don't know if you can see it. It looks like you can. This hose, if I can grab it. This one, this clear one, is the one that goes up to my boost gauge. I'm gonna see if I can pull that down. Looks like someone stuck some zip ties all over it, so I'll have to cut those. But I'll drag that down and run it up to where the steering column is and get that set up. So it didn't work. As you can see, somewhere in there is that connector. I was able to get the hose out, but it was too big to squeeze down in that little crack. So I had to pull apart the pod gauge setup stuff. Looks like this broke on me, but I think those were already broken. I just yanked the bottom one out. It just has these tabs pull out. Looks like someone else did this. They used like the stock gauge and or the stock pillar and put gauges on it. So yeah, I'll fight with that later. But I'm gonna see if I can get the boost gauge at least put in here, move all the stuff over, and yeah. I'm gonna start pulling this apart, the thing that's around the steering column, the plastic, to get on the one that I have, which is the pod. Looks like there's a T20 Torx here, and then I'm assuming there's 2 screws, which looks like that gets mounted to. So I'll pull this off, see what's behind it. So I didn't realize that there was 2 other screws. I thought maybe when you pulled this cover you'd see the screws, but there's 2 other ones. There's one there and one there, and they're Torx. But I tried to get my screwdriver up in there, and that's such a small little hole that you can't get up to it. So I was able to use a long Allen tool, and just get up there and pull out these Starbit Torx bolts. And now it looks like it should just come off. I just need the top taken off. So these are just clipped in. I think so. Yeah, I'll get it off. Oops, turning my hazards. Alright, let's see if I can get it off. Okay, I was able to get that off. This is what I'm replacing. Replacing that with this. And this is the bottom. It's like some sort of piece of paper. Restraint, something. While I was pulling that off, the guy went to Cape Cod whale watchers back in 2002. Where's that rice market? I don't know, but it was probably somewhere around 2002. Yeah, 2002 dates. $100 a person. Actually, I didn't realize this isn't, or replace the whole thing. Use the original one. If I can get it apart. Use the original one. You put this one on top. Oh, there it goes. Put this one on top. What looks like double-sided tape. And they may want to drill some holes to put these in, just like how that was. Like they drilled holes and put these like little rivet things in. I guess that's how that goes. I'm assuming I'm gonna have to I don't have to drill a hole in it. It's got a little spot for the wires and hose to go through. So we'll see if I can get that put together first, and then put it all back together and put the gauge in. So I'm gonna clean it with some isopropyl alcohol so that 3M tape or whatever it is can adhere to it better. Let's see if I can get that right now. see that was dirty. Didn't really say where to put the tape, so I'm gonna say I'm gonna put one here and one there, and then stick it on. Just get that, and then drill some holes for these little rivet type things. So let's see how that works. I got all the stuff off the tape. Let's see if I can put it together. I figure I do, I guess 2 on each side, maybe like one there, and one there, and maybe one there for those rivets, whatever they want to call those. But starting to get there. This is the size drill bit I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna try this first. It looks like it's a little smaller, so I might be able to just round it out a little bit more. Then push this through. So I'll probably start with one there. I think like one somewhere around here. We'll do that. Looks pretty good. Hopefully I can get the wires through there. I didn't realize. Yeah. That might be a problem. We'll see what we can do. We can probably push it through. Let's see if I can get this through. I was able to run the boost up here. I should have thought of that before. Shit. So for the light for my boost gauge, I had to wire it in. Before they had these, so I'm gonna put those in there. So I just used some wire nuts, kind of taped them up, added 2 new wires. I didn't have any black, so I had to use 2 white, but I labeled one. This one's my negative, this one's my positive, to go to this, which will go up into there. Which works, so I could wire it that way, so I don't have to try and force this end, which isn't going to work, into there, because that hole isn't going to fit that. So yeah, these look good. I could tuck that back up. Oh yeah, I had to remove all this, the trim around here. My battery died, but yeah, so I removed that trim piece. And it just has one these like screw slash socket ends, and the screw's right there. And then there's just one connector. You pop that out. But I had to get into there because I couldn't see where my wires were going. They were just getting bunched up here as I tried to fish them through here. So I pulled this off, and there's just 3 screws that hold that in. So yeah. And now I just gotta run, since I got all this connected now, I gotta put these through there, connect my, where is it, this, my light. So I got the gauge there, or the boost hose in, and take it from there. So I was able to get it all wired in. Got the wire sticking out the back, able to get the gauge in place. I got the positive and negative hooked up, so now my lights, you can see it, it's green. These ones are working. So that looks good. I'll have to put I'll probably put this cover back together So that way that's all tightened down because that one's all set. And then I gotta work on the wiring for the fuel pressure gauge, which is right there. Of course, all the other ones are more mechanical kind of ones. This one has a little more electrical to it, but not much. So this is for my cab lights that I had to put in. But yeah, looking good so far. Alright, so I found something I did wrong. I put that in the way of where it clips in place. So I should have saw that. I think the other ones are all good. So I'll maybe just pull that one out. I don't think I really need that one. And leave it out. Seems like it's held down enough. But yeah, so when you're drilling those, watch that. I literally put that right through where this is supposed to go. So right now I got my boost gauge all wired up. Should be working. Got the light on. You can see. I also got the fuel gauge put into place and my pyrometer back in place, which that one should be working. If I turn the switch on, it kicks on, so that's working. The fuel pressure I gotta still wire in. I got the light working in the fuel pressure. So all the lights work on all my gauges. I gotta wire up positive and negative, and then I gotta put this into my sensor, which will be this setup. So that just plugs into there. So I have to run that into the engine bay still and get this put into where it's supposed to be. So I got everything in here put back together. It's all together. I gotta still do that wiring. But now I'm gonna go to engine bay. I gotta take off the right there. But anyways, there's a bolt right there on the AFC housing that I gotta pull off. Put this on once you got this prepared. I got Teflon tape on this, Teflon tape on that, new crush washers, so I could get the wiring put on there. Just make sure you have a pan under there, because I don't know how much is gonna come out, but I'm sure a decent amount. Well, I'll take this. It's a 19. No, it's not that tight. So it looks like not a crazy amount came out, but I don't know if there's any more in there. That's what we want to try and get out. Right there. There is don't look like copper washers, but like a rubber washer. Maybe like a rubber coated metal washer. But there's gonna be another one on the other side of that. Which I need a screwdriver for. There it goes. Oh, went in my pan. So now we got this out, we're gonna put this in its place. You gotta fish this back behind that one line that this goes into. No problem, right? Hopefully this is like flat here. Something like that. Right with our hand. Alright. So now that's in there. I'll show you now. Alright, so we got this out. Now, you can see it. It's right here. Got that in with the 2 new copper crush washers. If they're crush washers or whatever, washers. So to look at it better, there's this line that you're putting a copper crush washer on one side and a copper crush washer on the other side. Right there, as you can see. It's on that side, and there's one behind this. There you go, there's a better view. So it's not too bad. Now I gotta tighten that up. They do give me torque specs. Showing on the one fitting, say 18 foot-pounds. On the actual banjo snubber combo volt thing, and on the sensor they want 6 foot-pounds. So I'll tighten that up, and then yeah. Now I have a torque wrench on me, so I'm gonna have to just do it by feel. Doesn't seem like it's a lot, so you don't have to really crank down on it, but I'm sure you want to check to make sure you don't have leaks after you do this. One more like little turn, like about there should be good. Alright, now we gotta put this on, the sensor. And I, like I said, put Teflon tape on that too. So you stick that into the actual bottom of the banjo bolt. Start that by hand. I don't have much metric wrenches at home, so I got a 7/8 that fits it. Like I said, this doesn't need to be super tight either. I think I only wanted like 6 foot-pounds, I said. So, in there and tighten it. So it's snug. And after making sure all that's tight, I'm gonna start it up and make sure there's no leaks. So we should be able to run with all that. Well, let's see. If you've never primed your 12 valve, there's a little pump down here that you push down on. Get some fuel through the motor. So you push that a couple times, and we'll try again. We didn't have any leaks, which is good. So now we're gonna run the wiring through, plug it all in, and hook up some power and ground, and we'll be done. We'll check the gauge. So I was able to get the connector through here. I ran it. There was actually a hole already here that somebody had made, so I put it through this grommet that's over there. And let me turn the light on. Over in this corner. So I got this. I'm gonna actually stick some of this tubing around that wire so it protects it. And I'll show you what I did over here. Did this as a temporary thing just to get power and ground. I had a ground here, and put just a tap through this wire for now until I can rewire it like I've rewired this before, because it was all ghetto and all like really jerry rigged up. So I did that. I'm gonna have to add this into that. It's just an add a fuse. But as I start it, you can see, turn it on, pull this switch, it gives it power. Made it so that this switch is power. And then as I start it, seems to be working good. It's moving, parameters working. Boost should be working. Obviously I'm not making boost at idle. Yeah, all looks good. Looks like it's running good. A little rev. So I taped this up just to add a fuse for now, or well, the tapping a wire or whatever it is. And I also put the tubing over the wire. Now it looks pretty factory. At least you don't see purple, gray, and black wires just hanging out in there. And they're protected now. I just threw some electrical tape every once in a while through the whole thing. Definitely recommend using some of this stuff. Yeah, let's take it for a ride and see what our pressure's at. So right now at idle, I'm at about 20, like 17 to 20 PSI. So we'll see what it gets to when I'm driving. Pressure's at right now, warmed up at idle. That'll be it for this video. I'll probably be making more videos. If you're interested in a video of what my truck, like what I've done to my truck, let me know. I got a headliner that I got to put in this because the old one is basically falling down on my head and everything, so I got to put that together. I can make a video on that. I may make a video on that before I post this video, but yeah, so if you liked it, give it a like on the like button, and subscribe. Leave comments of whatever I did, if something I did wrong to you, or anything like that. Let me know. I mean, I'm down to fix things right. Obviously, some of the stuff I did in this video was temporary stuff. I just wanted to get it in running, and then I'll go back and probably wiring in, soldering the wires and all that stuff. But it seems good, so subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
And do you feel the pain? 'Cause I still feel the pain.